Yo, what's up, my people? Welcome back to the channel, Runneth the Fade. I hope y'all are ready for another video. Now, we got Season 2 coming of Tekken 8 real soon. It's about I don't know when this is actually going to drop, but less than a week, basically, at this point until Season 2 drops for Tekken 8. So, we're still doing a lot of the Tekken 8 type of content, a lot of interesting ideas that I wanted to touch on. And today's video, we're going to be doing one buff and one nerf for each not one buff and one buff or one nerf per character in this game. So we're going to go over every single character that's in this game, and I'm going to give them one thing that I would change heading into Season 2. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot more than one change per character, right? Obviously, there's going to be some stuff, there's going to be some stuff that's going to be nerfed, there's going to be some stuff that's going to be buffed. But for this video, I'm going to choose one thing for each character. It's going to be obviously my opinion. I know there's going to be some stuff that you guys don't agree with, some obvious stuff that you say, well, this stuff obviously needs to be nerfed. Listen, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible, but I'm also going to try and explain some of the decisions and why I think certain things need to be changed, right? Before we start on the character specific stuff, I wanted to give one universal change that I want to see in Tekken 8 going into Season 2. But before we go ahead and we start, I want you to leave a like, subscribe, and share if you haven't done any of those things already, because you already know this is where you come to Runneth the Fade. Season 2 is coming, and it's going to be lit over here on Tekken 8, man. It's going to be so goddamn sick. I can't wait. But let's go ahead and let's get into this. So one universal change I want to see, right? Prior to the Tekken talk, it would have been regarding chip damage, but it looks like we're already getting that change. Chip damage is going to be reduced. Hopefully it's reduced the right amount and we don't have any more problems. My change is going to be in regards to heat smashes. I think heat smashes across the board need to be looked at. I think they're too strong for the majority of the cast, and I think the biggest thing for me, right, is just how the vast majority of them are plus on block and leading to 50-50, right? Like, this is a big problem we have with the game in general. There's too many heat smashes where you block them, and now you have to take a mix that you pretty much can't get out of, right? You just have to guess. And for some characters, it's okay. If it's Hwaorang, cool, I don't mind if his heat smash leaves him in Flamingo. You know, for Xiaoyu, I don't mind if you block the heat smash and she's in Hypnotist, Reina even. For Steve, does Steve really need a 50-50 after his heat smash? Feng, you know, Leroy, does Leroy? I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure Leroy does though, right? Certain characters, like, it doesn't need to be every character. I think so many of these heat smashes need to be toned down and just have it so that you block it and they give up their turn, -5. Even if they're -4, -2, bro, like, come on, man. Like, not everybody needs to go into stance and apply mix after heat smash. That's my one universal change. Heat smashes need to be toned down. Let's get into the character specific stuff. So I also want to add on a little caveat, and I'm going to count this as one because I'm going to cheat a little bit to start the video. I want to add also the priority that heat smash has. I would probably put this above the point that I just gave, actually, to be honest. The biggest change, the priority, I think heat smashes, for as good as they are, there's no reason that they should be armor. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to parry them. You shouldn't be able to armor through them. All of this stuff, like, they're just too strong, right? I think some of the hypest moments you could see in Tekken 7 was a read on a heat smash. What was they called? Rage drive. If I know Steve is gonna rage. Oh, now I'm getting confused. If I know Steve is gonna heat smash me, why can I not do a punch parry? You know, stuff like that. I think heat smashes just need to be looked at. But we get into the character specific stuff. We're gonna start with Alisa. I don't want to spend too much time on this character because I can't stand this character. But I think a good little change for her, and I'm gonna give a little caveat before I start. Some of these characters, I don't know enough to really give informed changes. So, one character specific, I'm not even gonna say anything if I'm honest with you, right? But some of the characters, I'm gonna be real short. I'm gonna just give an idea, and I want you guys who play those characters to give me a better idea of what maybe should change with these characters. Alisa, I think, and they'd have to change frames across the board. Not too much, because her frames are already ridiculous in Chainsaw Stance. But I think Alisa, I don't even know how to activate Chainsaw Stance. But in this stance, right, I think all of these moves, she should not be able to block when she's in chainsaw stance. That's how I feel personally, right? I think she should have to decide to put the chainsaws away in order to block. Because y'all just mash buttons in chainsaw stance anyway, right? So I think once the chainsaws are out, you have to find a way. It adds a little bit of thought to it, right? You have to find a way to get your plus frames and then put your chainsaws away so that you don't get punished for being overly aggressive and just mashing buttons in chainsaw stance, right? Like I said, they'd have to change some frames so that stuff isn't too punishable and launch punishable or whatever. If they want, I don't mind if it's punishable, because fuck this character. But yeah, I think Alisa should no longer be able to block while in chainsaw stance. Make her put them away if she wants to block. Give up, or not give, well yeah, give up her turn, end her pressure. As you can see, moving in alphabetical order, next character is Asuka. And again, before I get into this, I want to preface again. I want to say usually, when it comes to fighting games, I'm usually the type of guy who favors buffing instead of nerfing, right? So you buff the lower characters to get up to the top characters. But I think in this game, the top tiers are so insane for what Tekken is that we need to go the other way. So a lot of the characters on this list are going to be nerfed. Having said that, I want to make it clear that I don't think Asuka really needs to be nerfed, but this move does. This move needs to be nerfed. I'm not saying it needs to be launch punishable, which it is technically on block. It needs to be punishable. Like, this move needs to be -10. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 10. There's no reason. And the only reason that this is allowed is because it's some legacy shit and players be like, oh, well, it's been like this. It's alright, well, it's been bullshit, alright? There's no reason a 14 frame counter hit launching low with pushback on block, but mind you, right, like if you just stand block this, like this has a, alright, he keeps going back to crouch. I mean, it's not major pushback, but it's something, right? You should be -10, and I should be able to jab punish you for using this move. I don't care that it's low high. That is not an excuse for it to be -9. There's no reason a 14 frame counter hit launching low should be -9. There's no reason. Alright, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say I don't know an awful lot about Azucena particularly. But what I would say is that I think they over-nerfed this move. I think this move could be buffed. I don't know why I keep saying buffed. This move could be buffed just a little bit. I know that they have shown that they're buffing it because now she goes into stance in season 2. So there probably could be something else that we could change. But like I said, I don't know this character too well. I just think this could be like +4. I think +2 is a little bit, it's not really that hard to deal with. I think nerfing the tracking problem that it had, I think that was almost, I think it was +6, right? So nerfing the tracking was good. I think +4 is also alright. But for her to be able to build, I think this should still be one of her key moves. Like, she should build around this move quite a lot. I don't think it would change her being a starts character, but it would allow her to get in with pressure a bit easier. I'm not gonna lie to you, Bryan is an easy one. This move right here, this one, it's so overtuned. Like, this is an example of the problems that Tekken 8 has. There's no reason you should be throwing out a move this fast from across the screen, be +5 on block, and counter hit, launch, and knock down on normal hit. That just to list off all of those properties is insanity, right? This move is silly, and not only does it knock down, you get guaranteed soccer kick. How do you even do soccer kick? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. This move, and I think I don't want to go overboard with this move. I think I would either take away the plus frames so that it's not plus at all, because I don't even see why this move should be plus at all. Why is it plus? So I'd either take away the plus frames, even if you make it 0 or something. If I'm honest, I would flip it completely and make it -5. Like, yeah, +5 is insane, right? I'd either do that, or I'd take away the counter hit launch property, because all of these existing together is just nuts. And I think this move has survived way too long as it is, man. Claudio, I don't think there's too much that needs to be said. This move right here is crazy, especially when he's in heat. I think it needs to be nerfed, especially in heat, because that is just being a natural natural launcher, even a bound, and that pushback -2, this move needs to be toned down. Not necessarily across the board, but in heat at least, this move needs to be toned down. I know it's not going to happen as well, but do something about the crushing in this move, man, because it is silly, especially when these two moves coexist together. Claudio's so cheap with these two moves. If I'm honest, this should be launch punishable. Like, this should be launch punishable. This move should not be -13 if it's gonna stay how it is. Alright, so next up is Devil Jin, and I just want to give an honorable mention to this move right here. And I just want to say, like, we need to do something about the tracking, bro, because it is actually way too difficult to sidestep this move for what it does. It's just really inconsistent and unnecessarily difficult for as much range as it has, for it being a guard break and all of that. The amount of plus frames you get, especially at the wall when you can't really backdash away from it. Yeah, it's just a bit too strong. However, I would not feel right nerfing Devil Jin at all. So I'm a buff Devil Jin. And this move specifically, I would like part buff, part nerf, because I think I would take away the heat engager and I would give it to another move, and I would just let this move kind of be what it used to be, like kind of restore it back to its old glory. Pre-nerf in Tekken 7, because honestly, like, Devil Jin, he's just not scary. He's not scary to duck against, and he's not really scary to stand block against. So at least make his mids a bit more scary. I'd probably buff this across the board, make it a knockdown. I don't really know what the tracking is like. I rarely try and sidestep this move, but maybe buff the tracking, buff the damage. Yeah, Devil Jin needs some help. I don't even know the matchup, but at the same time, I like just don't fear this character at all. So yeah, that's me on Devil Jin. Give him a buff. Dragunov. I know this move is being nerfed to the ground. How do you do this shit? But this just shouldn't hit on the ground, bro. I say nerf to the ground. Yeah, my nerf. I know it's been nerfed endlessly, but it's still damn strong, bro. And it just shouldn't. I know they're taking away the wall splat, which it never really should have. But yeah, it shouldn't hit on the ground as well. It's just a little bit brain dead if you ask me. Like, it hits on the ground, you stand up, it knocks you down, or heat engages. Does it? I don't know. Outside of heat, it definitely knocks down, right? Let's find out. Oh no, okay, they changed that as well, right? But still, like, look, +8 on block is crazy strong as well. Like, it just shouldn't hit on the ground. Make him use something else, like down 2. Like, down 2 hits on the ground. Make Dragunov players use their brain a little bit and actually assess the situation. All right, Feng. I think Feng is in a real good place in this game. But there's really just one move, and it is back 3. Back 3 is a move that, if we're honest, Feng doesn't really even need, right? Like, you often don't even see top Feng players use this move, like, but it's just like the range. It's literally only the range for me. Like, look at this range. There's no reason Feng, like, one of Feng's main weaknesses, he's meant to have 2 main weaknesses really. Sidestepping or tracking, let's say his tracking and his range are meant to be his biggest weaknesses. When you have a move like this that hits from this range, you can't say that range is a weakness. So they've taken away his weakness and given him a way to get in at +6 from back here. It's, nah, man. Shorten that range. Make him use it even at mid-range. I can't call this mid-range. Alright, it doesn't hit from there, but here. This is more long range, right? It still doesn't hit, but alright, you get a point. Well, and make it hit from like here max, right? Like, or around here, like shorten the range all the way down. He could keep the +6, knock down all of that. I don't think the move is too much of a problem. I just think it has too much range. And other than that, I really think Feng is good. Now, Hwaorang, a character who I've played a lot. I would actually not necessarily just buff a move, but I would rework a move, right? And it would be forward 1+2. Now, this is personally my favorite Hwaorang move, right? Or at least it was in Tekken 7. But this move now is almost completely overshadowed, but just down forward 2. Because this move doesn't really give you anything consistently on trade, right? So if you're +5 and you trade right here, you don't always get Ignition Barrage. So it means that you might as well just always do down forward 2, right? So this move has become almost useless, irrelevant, because if you're gonna do this, you might as well just do this, right? Pretty sure this has better tracking as well. Natural launcher. So I would completely rework this. I'd slow it down. I'd make it maybe 17, 18 frames. And I'd make it a pressure tool. I'd make it plus on block. So maybe like +2, maybe +3. Let's say +3, +2, +3. I'd make it, maybe you could even keep the counter hit launch. It doesn't counter hit launch. You can keep the counter hit properly. I don't think it would be too strong. That's up for you to decide. Or well, it's not up for you to decide. It's up to the balancing team to decide. But I think you rework this move and just give it a different purpose so that it's useful again, right? Because like I say, just aesthetically, this is my favorite Hwaorang move. I would love to make it useful again, right? So Jack is a character who, one of them characters I don't know an awful lot about. I don't know his specific setups and all that. Like, I kind of just know him on a basic fundamental level. So I can't give you like moves that need to be buffed. I don't really know any moves that need to be buffed. But I would say across the board, just buff like his basic damage. Like general moves, I don't feel like Jack hits hard enough. I feel like almost a bit like Devil Jin. Like it's never really that scary to get hit by Jack. So I would just buff his damage across the board. Jin. This character, I can make a whole video about this character. One buff, one nerf for every move on his moveset, bro. And I would nerf every move on his moveset. There's so much to say. Most people would probably say Scourge. Scourge definitely needs to be nerfed, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't even care if it's not launch punishable. I mean, in the state that it's in, yeah, it should be launch punishable. With the, like, look at that range as well, bro. Oh my. My biggest problem with Scourge is the tracking. Like, when I'm sidewalking, and it clips me, yeah, that's the biggest problem for me, right? But the biggest thing that needs to be nerfed is just 2-1. Don't really have anything else. -3? How about -9? Yeah, how about -9? You give up your turn completely. How can you be -3 and have a delayable counter hit follow-up that knocks down into a guaranteed follow-up? How does that even, like, that is absurd. That's egregious. That's intentional. Like, you know, like Jin, I keep saying, like, Jin was not made like this by accident. Jin is intentionally, egregiously busted. So they need to stop trolling us. And this needs to be -9, -8, whatever. Give up your turn completely because you have the mind game follow-up of the 4. And the 4 should be unsafe as well, if we're being honest. So we'll make that -10 too. Jun, I don't have to spend too much time on Jun. Jun is exactly the same as Asuka. Can, -10. That's it. Now, Kazuya Mishima, the baddest man on the planet. Again, another character, simple change. I think he's in a good place. I think the wrong buffs could make this character OP. But at the same time, if any character's going to be OP, why not Kazuya, man? We want to see more Kazuya in tournament. Yeah, I don't think if anyone's going to be the best character in the game, it should be Kazuya, if you're asking me, right? One move, this move, kind of like Hwaorang's forward 1+2, it's just a move that you don't really see anymore because it's just not really, worth it throwing out. And again, I would do one of two things. I would either just make it back to how it was before, where it knocked down into a guaranteed forward 4, or I would get a little bit creative. I'd make it, let's say, -12. And I'd make it a counter hit launcher. Boom. They bounce up off the ground. You do your combo. I think that would be pretty sick. And like I said, I don't think Kazuya needs buffs. But it's the baddest man on the planet. Fuck it. Give him some buffs, bro. And yeah, this move, I want to see this move being used again. King. Now, a lot of people are going to go straight to down forward 2-1. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm cool with down forward 2-1. Is it really, 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 really good? Yeah. But I don't think it's too good because it's not like King is out here winning because of it. Like, I don't think it's too good. If anything, make him give up his turn for staggering. I don't think he should be able to stagger it so much. Like, you already have the mental frames. So maybe make this, you can even make this -10, right? But what I'm here to talk about is not down forward 2-1. It is muscle armor. I think this is potentially the most egregious move in the game. It's just insane. It's just insane that you could just stand here. You see the John do it all the time. Just bang off armor with no consequence. Oh, you could do a low. The lows don't even counter hit. So that's one. I wasn't even going to say that. Make the lows counter hit, right? This should be... He should get counter hit for doing this. The fact that he could just do this without committing to anything. Doesn't have to commit. He could just stand here and bang off armor. Wait for you to commit and say, oh, now he's committed. And now I do my... And it's still safe? No way. No way. This is what we're nerfing. The rest can stay the same if I'm honest. But once he decides to commit, you need to be punished. I'm sorry. You need to be punished once you've decided to commit. So this, again, I don't even... At least -10, bro. At least give me a jab punish. But yeah, -13, even 14 is better for me. Like, you should not be able to willy-nilly just bang this off and not commit to anything. You're just getting free armor without committing to anything. And then when you do commit, even if you have fucked up, you're still safe. Nah, man. Like, who designed this shit? Kuma is the character I know the least about in this game. So I ain't even gonna say too much. We already know that chip damage is being nerfed. So that's a big nerf to Kuma. But at the same time, this shit right here is still too strong. Just that mix, like, one of these moves have to be nerfed. Whether you're gonna make his heat smash a high, or make these a high, or reduce the plus frames, something has to be done about these moves right here. Lars, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lars probably needs some buffs. And it's crazy for me to say that because I've never hated a character more in my life. But Lars, I don't even know, like I said, I don't know what you would buff. But we're going with a nerf for Lars because this shit right here is insane, right? Just fix the hurt box, sorry. Fix this brother hurt box. I'm sick of doing a jab and he goes under it or over it. I'm sick of doing a mid and he goes over it. I'm sick of doing lows and he goes over it. You can barely check this dude when he does this move. He goes over all moves, bro. Nah, like, honestly, like, you don't have to do anything to the move other than that. No, the frames, sure, whatever. The range, whatever. Launch, I don't care. Just let me hit him before he gets this move out. All right, now Law. Law's an interesting one because, again, a lot of people would go straight to this. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, again, like King's down forward 2-1. It's really good, obviously. But I don't really want to take away everything that's good from these characters. Like, the last thing I want to see in Tekken, the biggest thing I'm worried about when it comes to this series is homogenization of the cast, where every character now just has to be the same. One thing I don't want to see in Season 2, a lot of people I've been hearing talk about Asuka's 10-frame punish. Asuka needs a better 10-frame punish. She needs a better 10-frame punish. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Again, they're making every character the same. Why can't Asuka just be a character who has a bad 10-frame punish? Why can't that just be what defines her almost? Not necessarily what defines her, but why can't that be something that stands out? Hey, Asuka, she's a good character, good defensively, but she got a bad 10-frame punish. Why? Why does she need to have a good 10-frame punish like everyone else, right? That's what I don't want every character to be the same, right? So this, whilst it's really fucking good, I mean, it needs to be launch punishable on block. That's for sure, right? But, like, I don't mind that it launches so much. I don't mind. And again, the thing that everyone looks to, oh, well, what about Lars? Lars has a counter hit 1-1-1 and mine doesn't launch. Again, so what? You just want every character to be the same. Why can't they be different characters? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, if they nerf it, they nerf it, right? I'm not against it, but at the same time, I don't mind it so much, right? Like, if that's what... My problem with it, right, is that Law is so good overall. So you have this on top of everything else. If you nerf Law, you can keep stuff like this, in my opinion. But this isn't even what I want to highlight. I just want to talk about... I don't even know how to do this. How do you do it? My problem with Law is just his wall damage. We've all seen it. I don't even really know how to do it. Oh my god, bro. How do you do that shit, bro? I'm gonna try and figure it out. There we go. And then you do bang, 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 bang. We've all seen it, right? Bang, bang. I'm not here to show you how to do law. But law, his combo, his wall combo damage specifically, right? And again, if they nerf law in other ways, then I guess he could keep the damage. But in the package he has to be doing the wall damage that he does, I think it's too much. Especially if he can save his bound to the wall, he will hurt you. I don't know the specifics, but it feels like he does some of the highest damage in the game. Like Kuma, Bryan, and then probably Law. I think Nina does quite a lot as well. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, that in the package that Law has, stuff like that is too much. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Lee is a character I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with for season 2, because I think Lee is kind of like the perfect balance in this game. I think if all characters were balanced the way Lee is, I think this game would be the best Tekken ever, bro. Like, I think he is right where most characters should be in terms of strengths and weaknesses. So I don't know what they're gonna change, but I think his heat should be buffed, if anything. His heat is weak, and I would basically just start with saying, hey, just buff this move, especially, like, across the board, probably, you know, I don't know, the range isn't so bad, but maybe, oh no, the range ain't bad at all. I don't know why I thought the range was bad. Yeah, the range is good, but give it more damage, maybe even make it break floors. I know it breaks walls, but maybe make it break, but just buff this move, buff his heat in general, and Lee is good. Leo, like with Law, I think Leo's wall combo is too strong, but that's not what I would change with this character. I'm looking at this move. This Low is just strong. Like, it goes in that category of like Jin Scourge, Kazuya down 1+2, but I just think it's better than both. Well, mate, it's not better than Scourge, let's be honest. Although this doesn't bound on counter hit launch, this just naturally, this is just a combo, right? So this move being -12, something has to change, right? Whether it's you make this launch even 14 at least, because for this character doesn't need, again, some characters just have stuff they don't need. This character does not need a low this good, man. Especially considering how good her mids are. I don't know why I still call her, I don't even know what this how good his mids are. Yeah, it doesn't need lows this good, like, doesn't. So again, another character I'll be interested to see what they do, because nobody really plays this character, so I'm sure they'll buff him. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they'll buff. But this needs to be nerfed and then ready to rock and roll. Cool. Leroy, again, another character I think probably needs some buffs, because I think it's a crime that this character isn't played. I don't really know why. I find this character fun. Obviously, Drip God, one of the best Tekken designs there is, but no one's really playing him. I guess everybody's still suffering PTSD from Leroy release, right? One change, excuse me, I would buff Leroy, and I would buff Hermit forward 1. I think it's not really scary to mash on him. The only thing that will catch you from mashing on him in Hermit is this. But even mashing on this isn't scary, because even this +7, the only thing that's gonna like counter hit launch you, the only thing that's really scary is this. And you can even interrupt that, right? So yeah, I would make this a counter hit launcher, just to give something to fear. This is really the only move he has in Hermit that tracks well as well. So make this scarier, and I think Leroy would be a lot better. But yeah, bust for Leroy in season 2. Alright, Lili. Lili's a character who, once all the top tiers are nerfed, I think Lili is going to be right up there as one of the best characters in the game. I think her biggest problem for me, honestly, is just this heat smash. I think it's only -12 if it's blocked. It's 12, maybe even less, because she has the power crush. Anything other than that, after that, can be power crushed. And I think for the mix that she already has in this stance, like this, I feel like her back turn is one of the best stances in the game. So to have a low heat smash that is -12, again, it's one of them things that just doesn't make sense to me. It's absurd. It's kind of, yeah, like that alone is what I would look at. I also think, I don't think it's too much of a problem, but I think this move is kind of toxic. Like, when you mix it with this, maybe slow this down a bit. How fast is this? 23. I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe slow this down a little bit. Nina. I don't really have to say too much about Nina. Nina is a character who's definitely going to be getting nerfed. Honorable mention. I feel like I'm the only person who really has a problem with this. And like, it's not the end of the world, but I just find it weird that her guns wall splat and they wall blast as well. I also think it's super cheap that you can get a wall splat from like back here. You don't even have to be near the character to, like, the wall carry is insane. Like, if I hit you from here in a combo, there's nowhere I can't convert with these guns. Like, they're gonna wall splat you. I think, like, they're bullets, bro. I don't see why. The first time I saw these wall splat, I just thought it was really weird. I think that the wall splat should be taken away from these. And then, I don't think I need to say too much. Like, this string shouldn't gel. The fact that, like, majority of her offense comes from this string and it gels is just way, and then she has just so many options off of it, right? Like, so many options off of this string. Can't she yeah, she could sidestep out of it. And yeah, nah, again, another one of them things that's just like, how did this pass testing? How is it past a year of existing, bro? Yeah, nah, Nina's definitely getting nerfed. It's gonna change one way or another. Also, I hear a lot of people complaining about this ability to delete grey health. One, I don't want to see it changed. I don't have a problem with it. And two, I don't want to see it added to other characters. Again, homogenization, bad. Let characters have things that's only for them. I know it's not only for her. She has it, Shaheen has it, Heihachi has it. But I don't want to see this given to the entire cast. I really don't. Alright, Panda, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about this character. The only thing I knew about Kuma was the electrics because it was so busted. Panda, I know nothing about this character. So I'm going to be honest, I'm not even going to say anything. What I will say is I know a lot of people are going to point to her wall combo and the damage it does. Again, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. It's a Panda thing. I don't want everything that stands out character specific. Like, why would we look at Panda and say that her wall damage needs to be like everyone? I just don't understand the logic behind just wanting all the characters to be the same. You want all the characters to have the same moves, the same properties on their moves. You want them to do the same damage in their combos. You want, like, I don't understand that. Like, what's the point? What's the difference in the characters if they're all just the same? So, no, Panda can keep the wall combo damage to me. If it's up to me, she can keep it. So can Kuma. Not a problem. Like, sure, if they get a combo, they're going to do a lot of damage. I don't see that as a major issue. I'm going to be honest. Paul is a character I can't think of much that should be buffed or should be nerfed. You know what? I don't even know how to do this low. Whatever this stupid ass low is that he has, where he, I don't know, that long distance ass low. I don't know how to do it. You know what I'm talking about. Make that more punishable. I don't care if it's slow. Make it, it's a launching low, bro. Like, make it more punishable. I don't care how slow it is. Look at the range it has as well. The amount of times I get hit by it because I'm just not blocking, because I'm not expecting it to hit me from here. But that's not even what I want to nerf. I would nerf just this in heat, and the amount of, like, yeah, nah, bro, because getting wall blasted from a mile away, and same for Demo Man from a mile away, it's so toxic. I didn't say you gotta take it away completely, but at least cut it down, bro. Like, cut down the distance that I'm being fucking torpedoed across the screen into an explosive launcher. Oh my god, this mix is toxic when he's in heat, bro. And it's not even just him. It goes for Jin's Heat Smash, Lidia's Heaven and Earth 2. Like, there's a lot of moves that are wall splatting from just too far. Feng's Heat Smash. Nah, man. Alright, so this video is longer than I thought it was going to be already. I mean, there's a lot of characters in this game, right? So we're going to try and speed it up. Raven. How do you do this move? Boom, right here. I think a really good buff for Raven would be to speed this up a little bit. I think it would play into his game plan. Like, it would still be like high risk, high reward. I think this is minus 14, right? Yeah, minus 14. I think it's just a bit too seeable. Like, make it like 21. I think would be good. Like I say, still high risk, high reward. Well, it's not even high reward, right? It's not a counter hit launcher, is it? Knockdown counter hit. it's high risk, moderate reward, right? Like, I don't think it's too bad to speed this up a little bit. Reina's another one on that list of, I think she's in a good spot. I think seeing the top tiers be nerfed, we'll see her I mean, she's already a really good character, I think, but seeing the top tiers nerfed will put her in an even better spot. I can't think of much to buff for Reina, but this, it's already a good low. But I think Reina needs a counter hit, like a real threat for her lows, right? So I would give this a counter hit property. I'd make it kind of like Feng's down back 3, just a hit grab, extra damage. Maybe make it like Lidia's Hell Sweep. I would like get her to like snatch the leg, pull it from out underneath them. Maybe do that stomp that she does. But yeah, make this a counter hit. Nothing crazy, not a counter hit launcher, not even counter hit knockdown or anything. But just extra damage, yeah. Cool. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Shaheen is another one of them characters I don't really know much about at all. Wasn't played at all in Tekken 7. We're seeing him a lot more now in Tekken 8. But I still haven't really taken the time to learn the matchup. But what I can see is that he is no longer that fundamental character that he was meant to be in Tekken 7, right? He has a lot more gimmicks. He has that, I don't know how to do it, but he has that guard break. He's got the slide. I mean, he always had the slide, but the slide is gimmicky. The guard break, gimmicky. He's got a lot more like dirt, right? So I don't think he needs to have one of these fundamental down forward 2s anymore. I could look at the down forward 1 and say his down forward 1 is too good. But the down forward 2, I don't think he needs to have one of those. I don't think it needs to be one of these, bro. Switch it up. I mean, it could still launch crouches, but make it punishable, I guess, right? It's got really good range. I mean, not in a sub. It's not like Leo's. Leo's would hit you from back here, right? But I just don't think he needs to have one of those safe down forward 2s anymore for the character that he is. Moving on to Stephen Fox. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's two things I would change, right? First, and I want to say again, I don't think Steve is bad at all. I think Steve is really good as well. Currently learning the matchup for Steve because he's a matchup that I struggle with a lot. I don't know this character. But there's a lot of changes they made coming into Tekken 8 that I just didn't really understand. And this is one of them. I don't understand why this can't be the counter hit, knockdown, or launcher that it was. I don't get it. So you could have a revert this, but the biggest one that I see, and I didn't even know that this was a change, but this doesn't wall splat anymore. And yeah, again, another one of them was I just don't understand. Like, what is it about this new aggressive system that means that this can't wall splat? Like, that's my change for Steve. A buff. Sonic Fang needs to wall splat. It would make him a lot better because then it would make which moves does he get? Yeah, this. Like, it would make this better. I think he also gets it off of this. Yeah, it would make this move better. It would be just a nice buff across the board, and it wouldn't be anything crazy that makes Steve OP. But like, make this wall splat. All right, Victor. Not gonna spend too much time on him because it's another character I don't really know the matchup for. As much as I dislike this character, and I think he's one of the lamest characters that's ever been put in Tekken, I'm gonna buff him a little bit and nerf him at the same time, right? Because that's not even the input. That's out of range. But this range right here, I honestly, like, just the way I like my Tekken, I don't want any move to be hitting me from this far, really. Like, this is insane, especially for a move that's gonna launch you in heat. So I'll reduce the range, but I'd speed it up a bit. Pretty simple, right? What's it? It's 24 now. I'd even make it. I'd make it 20, 19 even, but take the range away so it's hitting from here at least, bro. Because it's silly, man. This is it actually makes me kind of sick. Look at that, man. Nah, bro. Ling Xiaoyu, another one of my my preferred characters, right? Now, Ling Xiaoyu, there's one of two things, right? Now this probably a little bit too plus on block, especially when you take into account what she gets for this on hit. Like, when she gets this on hit, she gets not that one. She gets this guaranteed. So then you mix it with this, and this is kind of a cheap mix, especially considering this has some pretty good tracking. Like, It's kind of hard to sidestep this. So you could look at that, but to be honest, me, it's a no-brainer. It's the heat smash. On hit specifically, you shouldn't get this mix. This is already one of the best mixes in the game. Also, I don't want to see... I mean, Hypnotist could take some nerf, but I don't really want to see... I don't really want to see this be any more than minus 13. Definitely don't want to see it be launch. But this in general, like... Being... having 50... Don't want him to block it. Having 50 damage and then go into plus 20 into one of the best 50-50s in the game. No, like I don't mind it on block, her going into stance. But on hit, there's no reason. Like it should just, like I said, some heat smashes are just too good. Like it should just end. You don't need to tack on top another 50-50. Again, one of the best 50-50s that are in the game. It's not right, man. It's just not fair if we're being honest. Yoshimitsu, another character who's definitely getting nerfs going into season 2. 100%. I don't think there's any question about that. And I like this one because people ain't gonna like this one, right? To be honest, Spin, whatever they're doing with Spin, I don't know what they're gonna do with Spin. I don't know if they're gonna, to be honest, I don't think they're gonna do too much about Yoshi's defensive capabilities, if I'm honest. I think they're really gonna go after his offensive capabilities because I think that's where the balance isn't right with Yoshimitsu, right? Because he's always had stuff like this, right? This stuff has always been here. And he's never been top tier because of it, right? I think it's because now he does so much damage, he has such good Oki, just got such good tools in general, right? But me, I'm going after Flash, right? And to be honest, everything could stay the same, right? Like, it could be 6 frames. It could guarantee whatever it wants. I don't really care. My problem is on whiff. On whiff, I just think he recovers too quick. I think on whiff, he needs to be 379 frames recovery. I don't even know if that makes any sense. What I'm saying is he needs to die every time. I need to have enough time to get up, go to the toilet, take a dookie, wipe my ass, come back and punish him, bro. He needs to be stood here for at least 3 real life seconds if he whiffs. Like I said, on hit, even on block, it could be the same. But on whiff, if you just whiff Flash in my face, I'm not even joking. Y'all think I'm exaggerating. 300 and whatever, 800. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if it's 800, doesn't matter if it's 1,000. I need to get, actually, if you whiff it, I should be able to rage art. Well, I can rage art, to be honest. Probably. But yeah, you get the point. On whiff, Flash is absolute obliteration. Okay, the last character of the main roster before we get into the DLC characters, Zafina. Let's see if I remember how to use Zafina. How do you do this move? Boom. Where is it? I don't even know how to use it. There we go, boom. A lot of people might not like this. I would give her back this move in neutral. I don't think she should have to be in stance to do this move. I think they should just give it to her as a poke. And I think because they nerfed it anyway coming in, even in stance, right? Because I'm pretty sure it never used to have this kind of pushback. So if you keep it like this and just let her bang this move out from here, I feel like you get hit by this, you're -3, but you're like at this kind of range. Like, look, she can't even loop it. She can't even do it again, right? Like, there's no real threat after that move hits, right? It's even more, it pushes you back to further than round start. So I don't think it would be too much of a problem if you just give her this low to poke with at range. I think that would help out Zafina a lot. Alright, Eddy. Eddy, another one on the list of characters in this game that I haven't labbed really at all. I know the basics of like the scrubby strings that people were hitting you with. Even then, I'm still getting hit with a lot of them because you never see Eddy. But the one thing that I see when I watch Eddy's play that I notice is they seem to have a hard time getting his, is it Majinga? His Majinga stacks, right? So I would buff it so that he keeps at least one of them in between rounds. So if I get 2 in the first round, I go into the next round and I have 1. If I get 3, I go into the next round and I have 2, right? They still go down 1 each round, but just make it a little bit easier. Or maybe just give him more moves that will raise his Majinga. Because like I say, yeah, when he actually gets these stacks, he's not bad, right? He's got some good moves. But like I say, like it seems like the only move people could get the stacks with is his Hell Sweep. And that's just, again, like we already know how risky Eddy's game plan is. So getting those stacks is just a huge risk. So make it easier for him to get them or make him keep some between rounds. All right, on to my main now, Lidia. I'm gonna do a video at some point of all the ways I think that they could buff this character moving into season 2. But if I had to pick one, I think she needs help with mids. And I think just making Red Poppy hit confirmable, I think that would go a long way to making this character a lot more threatening in the mid department. Yeah, I think right now this is a decent move, especially against people who are uninitiated. Against people who know to just be patient and block and punish, it's -14. So some characters are launching you for it, right? If they give you the ability to actually hit confirm it, and you'd be a lot more comfortable throwing it out. You throw out the first hit, right? If it gets blocked, you get punished, -12. But you still have the mind game of whether I'm not going to finish it and get that counter hit launch, right? I think, yeah, that alone, like I said, there's a lot of other stuff that I think they could buff for Lidia to make her a better character. But that one stands out to me as the logical change to improve this character. All right, Heihachi. There's a lot you could say about Heihachi. His overall tracking could be buffed. I think he can survive without his tracking being buffed. I think he's strong enough. His mids especially are strong enough to survive. Ultimate Heihachi definitely needs to be looked at. It's very strong. But I think my buff would be on down back 2. Right? And it's not frames or damage or anything like that. It's just this. This right here needs to be that connected. But this, like, the fact that, especially at tip range, a lot of his moves are just not connected, even on hit, right? Like, a lot of people now are forced to do this just to be safe and have a follow-up, because, yeah, a lot of these just don't hit. Like, even dead in your face while standing 4 whiffs. And that is, it's got to be a design flaw, right? It's got to be a design flaw. So yeah, that's the buff I would give to Heihachi, and I think that would help him a lot because this move would then again just become very threatening. And on to the final character, Clive, a character that I'm uninitiated in again, because when he came out I wasn't really playing, so I didn't see the influx of Clive players, so I'm not really in tune. But from what I've seen, this is a move that definitely needs to be looked at, because +9, that kind of range, the kind of tracking it has, I think he goes into silence +23, on block, still +6. I'm pretty sure you can interrupt him though. Does it count? I don't actually know if this move has any kind. I doubt it, right? Okay, it doesn't, but it looked like it did for a second. Yeah, so this move, I think, yeah, that move is another one. Make this unsafe because it just doesn't need to have this. This is -10 is fine, you know. Don't know why his needs to be -9. And I think it is, what button is it? This one. I don't think this move needs to hit on the ground and pancake flip. I don't think it does. I don't know. This one is less egregious. The tracking is a bit of a problem. The tracking on this move is real inconsistent. I don't know if you've seen one of the videos that I went into the lab after a set with Clive and labbed it, and I was getting hit left, right, and center trying to sidestep this move. The tracking definitely needs to be looked at. So it's one of these, or this, or this. Need to be nerfed looking at this character. I also think his Oki, I'm not even going to go into it because I don't know the character. It would take me a while. But one of those moves, look at those moves and nerf. And that is all for, that's all the characters. All the characters looked at, what I would do with them going into Season 2. Again, bear in mind, those aren't the only changes I would make to some of these characters. Asuka, for example, I picked out a nerf. But overall, I would give Asuka a buff. Same goes for a lot of the characters. Maybe a character I picked out a buff, but I would overall give them a nerf. But these are the moves that for me personally really stand out. And again, I'm looking at trying not to homogenize the Get down, Clive. You look like an idiot. Yeah, I'm trying not to homogenize the cast. I'm trying to keep characters like unique and doing what they stand out for doing. But that's it. Yeah, I don't know what order you're gonna see some of these videos in, but there's a lot more content of this ilk coming. Season 2 preparation, like tier lists and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm gonna do a video for Lidia, what can be changed for her. So keep your eye out for a lot of those. Like, subscribe, and share, because in season 2 it's gonna kick off. And always remember, don't be afraid to run off the fade. Peace.